Okay, so this is my new channel, and the reason why I'm using this channel is because my original one has been I'm unable to make videos or upload videos. It's okay, I understand that at one point that was going to happen. I made enough videos to understand that everything I've said um, has been said by me before and a while ago. I'm not talking about just like a month ago. I'm talking about 3 years ago. And my targeting started on August 2019 when it comes to V2K, and the V2K is the reason why I'm losing myself and falling to these manipulations of thoughts that they force me to have, manipulation of memories they force me to have. And I understand the reason why I was making videos is because at one point I knew that my brain was going to go away more and more and more, and my memories are completely being reshaped and changed into something else and manipulated. Yesterday, and the beginning of this video started with this channel's talk. It was focusing on how they're forcing this memory of this ex-girlfriend of mine telling me something about her sister, and kind of humiliating to her. But now they try to like change this, make me imagine it and create these thoughts and create but I understand. I knew that at this state of my targeting, my brain is super manipulable to a point where now this thought has turned into something that I was thinking about, was stimulating, was arousing, make me imagine this. Oh, just disgusting. And my memory is experiencing that. And I know my memories are completely gone. I know they can make me imagine my memories to have experienced all kind of things. And they give me a sense of anxiety. They're doing all these things they've obviously been working on. Right? And they like to say, oh, we're mining. No, they're mining on things they can create in your mind. They're mining on what they can manipulate. They're mining on how they can make you feel about certain things. They mine you about how they can create false memories. This is what they do. They're manipulating you, right? But I've talked about this a while ago, right? What you see here is a description of a video I've released in 2020, September 2020, right? Just to show that how obvious these people are about and how protocol and systematic. This is obviously, at the time they couldn't do the same thing they do to me now, because with time you find your brain slowly fading away. Slowly your memories are becoming more and more manipulative, like easy to manipulate. They can create feelings and make you even feel like this is truly, and it become more and more obvious, because like literally 3 weeks ago I didn't feel like this, but I know with time every time I sleep, every time I know something's going to change, and it's getting worse. So what you see here, let me read it out loud, right? And just this was written in September 2020, right? And read this. So I literally say this is my 15th video. In this video, I'm talking about the vilifications process a target individual is constantly going through. The vilification start with the smear campaign that portray the target individual as a foul offender. The vilification campaign is extremely well organized, funded. The purpose consists of authority figures, parents with their kids, respectable professional, and individuals who appear to be conscious of social justice. In parentheses, I would call it for activists. For the vilification to work, perks that appear to be credible are utilized and incentivized, incentives are provided to ensure all kind of perps participate. The other portion of the vilifying of the targeted individual involved the V2K. V2K technology can completely override the targeted individual mind. The inserted intrusive thoughts, which consist of extremely disgusting thoughts, the memory manipulations, the ability to prevent a target individual from clear thought process, the poisoning of thought process, the ability to make the inserted thoughts blend in with natural thoughts, can make the target individual start to self-vilify due to the constant disturbing thought insertions. The vilification does not only break the target individual, but empowers the perps that delude themselves into accepting the vilifying campaign as the truth. Although the perps are incentivized by financials and other benefits, creating a bubble in which the target individual is constantly surrounded in scripted theatrical performance that uses triggered words to enforce the vilification of the target individual, keeping up with the character role and maintaining Maintaining it could be difficult, so the perps need to immerse themselves in the false profile that was created for the target individual. The vilification tactic is beneficial to the program because it helps the destruction of the target individual psyche, but also help the participant perps with falling in character. Now, as I'm saying that, they're going through the scripts, they're saying whatever they need to say. This was said in September 2020. You can see this video. I will send the link on my descriptions. You can see, what I said. This hasn't changed. I did not change the description at all. So now you understand that why I'm becoming stronger and stronger, even though my brain is more and more manipulating, because they are continuously doing the same thing that I talked about 3 years ago. Now my brain is is worse and worse because this technology is going to override you. It's going to override your thoughts. These new versions of memory with these moments is now changed in so many ways, and they're going to continuously do that, and they're going to come up with new scripts. Also, now we just mind you. Yeah, they mind you, they manipulated you, they looked at what they can change and create these new versions of these memories, make you imagine it in this way, make you feel just imagine it in these disturbing ways, and then try to make you think about all you were thinking about it in this moment, and try to create these things. And obviously I know this, my brain, as unfortunate it is their false memories. Now I know this, and they try to gaslight you. Oh, not real. Those are typical things. And they then start talking about how they're going to torture you, they're going to rail you, they're going to do this and that. This is part of how they're trying to make you identify to things that are falsified. They even try to make some noise campaign with chains. They're going to do all the things possible to create this false reality. They're going to immerse themselves in this fantasy and this character they've created themselves. They're going to fall into the character they've created for themselves too, in hope that they're going to escape from this reality, because in truth is they have to still do what they need to do. But I expect horrible things to happen to me, but I'll never subscribe to these nasty things they do to me. These bottom feeders, as I said many times, will get what comes from them, needs to come to them. You can see even me speaking is becoming harder and harder. Go watch me talk in this video. My speech is obviously been impacted, and it's going to get worse. I understand that. I'd rather die in tremendous pain than having to live the life they need to live. They tell me how I'm going to be impaled. It's like, listen, I first of all, I do not doubt that. Can you imagine being humiliated? This was made before this article came out exposing these agencies in charge of this program filled with pedophiles. Well, there's a lot of pedophilia issues in these agencies. I made this video before that, about a year or so. About a year before this article came up. Now, can you understand the humiliation these people have to live through? Yes, they're gonna see me scream and die, but dude, before I died and screamed, I was able to see these trash for what they are. And now they're gonna have to wait for the moment when this thing comes back to them. Now I see them as just the bottom feeder just the bottom feeders in this. They're gonna try to get you to subscribe to this. They tell me how they're gonna wait for me. They can't even be seen. You see these people in the screenshots? One of these persons, she was like, "Oh, you're gonna be roasted to death for it." It's like, listen, you're roasting kids. You're torturing kids. I know you torture women. You guys actually torture children sexually. While you are here forcing me to have these weird memories and create these versions of memory, but make me imagine this kid. It's so sad. But I know my brain is that gone. And in their minds, like, oh, she's like, no, listen, I know. At this point of my mind, at this point of my targeting, my brain is completely ravaged, and my memories can be created however you want it. Now you're gonna make a mistake. Is that you're gonna try to be seen in front of me and think that I'm not gonna see you for the obvious manipulation of my memories. And I know what you guys do. So they keep telling me I'm gonna die in hell. Now, this is part of the way they try to vilify me. Let me say something. A lot of these people are very, very vulnerable. We're not talking about the creme de la creme, right? I'm talking about people who can kill themselves in a heartbeat. I'm talking about some fantasizers of all sorts. They live off this fantasy they've created. Me, I know that at one point I will not be able to speak about what's happening to me. I will not be able to speak at all. That's why I make all these videos that I can. Please go see my videos in this YouTube channel. And you understand that I made it clear that I've seen the pattern a mile away, and now more manipulation of my memory are going to create it. Yesterday was specific to these moments. This ex-girlfriend of mine who comes out, running out of the bathroom, yelling and screaming to her sister, and then she comes in the room. She's like, hey, God, my sister would just call her again doing something in the shower, using the shower. I was like, okay, you understand? I knew what she meant. Now try to create value of thinking about it. It's like, no, you're making me think about it like this. You disturbing ways. And it's easy for them because this information was in my brain. I was told what this is, and now just imagining this in this very vivid, disturbing ways. And it's disgusting because now they even try to create sexual stimulations. They're like, you are a pedo. No, you are literally making me imagine things like that in my memory. While you guys actually have pedophiles in this agency. And this is why I said things will come back to them. These people are trying to make me accept these versions of memories while they actually work for entities filled with pedophiles. I will repeat it a million times if I have to. Because that's the reality they're in. Versus me, they're like, oh, but this is... Yes, you are making me imagine something somebody told me. And they try to give me sexual stimulation about it. This humiliating moment for this kid is not something they try to make me imagine, but you thought about it. It's like, no. And they're like, oh, but have you ever, like, it's just so random the way they try. Have you, like, did somebody ever talk about this? And like, oh, I remember when they caught the little sister doing these things. Like, it's just, it becomes like this. Now, I know my brain is gone. Right? I understand. And these bottom feeders who have nothing real have to come up with ways to make somebody subscribe to things. They understand the moment will come for them. I've been right all along. I'm not perfect. I know my imperfections, but they try to erase that. So that's that. So at this point, I feel like I'm a genius. I'm a saint almost. Because the reality is being erased. And I see them for what they are, true pedophiles and lowlifes that are trying to force people to think in these disturbing ways, to create a pattern that's falsified. And my brain is going to go however they want it. I've accepted that. This reality. There's no way I'm going to feel comfortable, good, or my mind is always going to feel these disturbing ways because they've put things in this disturbing fashion. It's mental torture. They use imaginations and memories in certain ways that break people down. I'm not the first, I won't be the last. And they prepare this, they orchestrate things, they wait until when your brain is manipulative enough to be creating something else. There is nothing I can do. But it is what they can, but this is what they're involved in. You gotta be strong about who you are. Because they're gonna try to make you accept this falsified reality. But they know who they really are and they try to escape from that. At this point, they've sold their soul to pedophiles. And I try to get you to be something you're not. And you still see them for the low-life pedophiles that they are. And they try to be fierce and badasses. This is part of the psyop. What I talked about the way they try to make you believe this falsified reality. Truly trying to make you accept these things. In all the different ways. Now, I will have to admit, it's extremely frustrating to not be able to experience memories in the right way. Having to experience it in these disturbing ways. And try to force you to experience it this way. It disturbs you, but you have to be strong. Accept this. Target individuals, we are human subjects. We have to accept this. This is not a group of like femme fatale or Russian mafia. It is the Department of Defense program or entity of that nature. We are human experimentations. They are manipulating this super sophisticated weapon that can manipulate your brain in so many ways. They figure what they can manipulate and how they can change you in different ways, create different memories of different versions of reality. And you are being tortured with these mental tortures. That is frustrating as F. But this is what this technology is doing. I know that I'm a subject. And I see them for these low lives who obviously are doing their best to escape reality. But when they see me bringing up something I wrote 3 years ago about what they're doing to me today, it's not me being magical. I'm not the oracle. I was just literally describing what I was experiencing at some point there. And now it's even worse because they're systematic and because it's obvious. It's obvious. I'm not a genius. I'm not going to say I'm stupid, but I'm not a genius at the same time. I'm not. I mean, it's easy to see that. I see the gaslighting. I see how they try to make you accept this thing, and sometimes I see them like holding their like they gonna whatever torture I'm gonna go through. That torture would be for the theater. It's for the creation of a facade of they want to maintain. They're gonna do this and that, like as if that's gonna stop the reality that they manipulate memories and do all these things. And on top of that, torture children and women. And on top of that, the agencies that contract these low lives are filled with pedophiles. While they try to create these things, the facades of this like femme fatale, this progressive, this intellectuals, this young professional, these parents is like all part of this psyop. Their tonality, what they repeat over and over, the scripted terms, it's the same things. The reason why I'm strong enough to speak like this when my brain is being ravished with all these disgusting ways is because I've been validated by many testimonials. Once you understand what this is about, it's so easy to see what's going on here. It's so obvious. It's super obvious that even me in my state can see that. So to all my target individuals, stay strong.